So hey John,
Hey,
glad to have you here, man.
asante.
I'm sat next to my idol.
Hard.
So yeah, I'll ask you this: what's your favorite investigative story? I know you've done many.
Hey, it's like choosing between your
Yeah,
children.
yeah,
You
I
know,
know
it's
exactly.
very hard. It's very hard. I think there are different stories that have different things that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them aren't necessarily investigative stories, but
Jesus.
but they're just things that I like. So, for instance, when we did End of the River, my favorite part of the story is the intro.
Mm-hmm.
When we did the Profiteers,
Yeah, the South Sudan.
yeah, my favorite part of the story isn't even in the story. It's just how we were able to get some of the footage that we got. When we let me see. There are stories that we're doing now, like for instance, even Pandora Papers.
Yeah,
My favorite part of that was how much I learned
About
about
offshore accounts.
offshore accounts, offshore finance, about how much money is out there. It gives me so I can't say that one story is like my favorite. There are some that I had a lot of fun in the field. There's some where the field was horrible, but the result was nice.
Good, yeah.
So it's very difficult to choose.
So there is no favorite piece.
No, not one favorite piece. I like them all, but
You
I
love
think
them equally.
yeah, but I think it's difficult watching your stories back because you always see something that you did wrong. So I also learn a lot from some of the mistakes that I made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever get scared?
Yes.
There's this Felician Kabuga story you did, and there's the South Sudan one. You went to the guy's house.
I mean, all the time. You see, I think people think that to be an investigative journalist, you need to be brave or anything like that. No, I don't consider myself a brave person. I think all that if I wasn't afraid when we were doing those things,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't be a human being. I also wouldn't be very smart because when you're afraid, your senses are alert.
Yeah.
When you're nervous, not even afraid maybe, but just when you have a heightened sense of awareness,
Yeah.
you're more careful and that sort of thing. You don't go and make foolish mistakes. And I want to be an old man.
You want to die out here.
I want to be exactly. I don't want to I don't want to leave my children before they're grown up. I want to enjoy this life. Yeah. Pia I think kuna misconception that to be a journalist you have to be serious and
no
it's
jokes.
a labor and you must be this
Some people
you have
think
to be
it's
a
lame.
priest. Some people think it's lame, but I enjoy going out having a beer with my friends. I enjoy life like anybody else, and pia mimi nataka nipige sherehe
Bana.
beyond just what I do.
Yeah.
So journalism is something that I do. It's not who I am, but there are many parts of who I am that influence how I do the journalism. So I think that's how people need to think about it. So don't be defined by, be who you are, and let who you are be what makes you stand out in terms of journalism.
Yeah,
I know you didn't even ask that, but I'm just
we never complain. I'll just ask you this. I listened to your story, the one you did with Sabia Brand.
With
Singleton Stories.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
you talked about reading
Nico.
a newspaper for your dad.
Yes.
The front seat. How did you know you wanted to be a journalist? Because how old were you then?
Okay, so let's see that memory. I mean, we had many sessions like that. But the one that stands out the most is when I was reading about the Goldenberg scandal in 1993, I believe. So 1993, I was in Standard 5. That would make me what? Maybe about 10
years old at that time?
Yeah, 10 years old at that time. Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it happened at one go. There's some people who know what they want to do from when they're kids. And those guys are lucky. But it happened over time.
But that piece opened your eyes to a new thing. that was interesting to you?
It was exactly. So
Yeah.
I knew there that I enjoyed what I was reading. I enjoyed how it was written. I enjoyed the fact that I could read it properly. So it's those small moments that sometimes make, and that's not for everybody. I think everybody has their own path.
Yeah, you're privileged to know what you want to do and loving what you do. Yeah.
Yes, but at that time I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I enjoyed
So you
reading
kept
the
doing
paper.
it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite book?
Hey, okay.
Because I know you've read many.
Well, not as many as people might think, but
Yeah.
so there's this book called Have a Little Faith. It's by a sports journalist called Mitch Albom. It's not about sports at all.
It's about journalism.
No, it's not. It's really just it's a really nice story. I think just go and find it. It's a small book. Then another book that I enjoyed recently was one by, why am I forgetting his name now? My gosh, but it's called A Water Dancer.
Water Dancer.
Yeah, it's by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and he's a really good. He's also a journalist.
What's the book about?
It's like a fictional account of the Underground Railroad in the States. Yeah, there's one that I'm looking to read. I think it's called States of Blackness by a guy called Howard French. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading it. I've heard lots of nice reviews about it. But I mean, for me, the books that I enjoy the most. Oh, there's one called And the Hills Echoed that I read recently. It's by an Afghani writer. Forget his name. The books that I tend to enjoy the most are the ones that aren't really about work and stuff, but just really about the art of it,
But,
and that people just enjoy.
The thing I've noticed is the books you enjoy, they're mostly about something real.
Well, yeah, in a sense.
Fiction and fiction at the same time?
Well, yeah, I've enjoyed fictional books like And the Hills Echoed is fictional completely, but it's sort of like tied to a real thing, sort of like history. It's drawn from history. It's drawn from real history. Yeah, but I enjoy lots of movies as well. So books are also a place where you get an opportunity to escape.
Yeah.
And just not have to care about what's happening and stuff, and just enter someone else's world, which is cool.
True. A book coming at some point, because you have a lot to say. You have a lot to say.
Unasema niko na nini, I'm speaking too much.
No.
Niliambia tu yani nikate.
Who would obviously would want to know about you going to, things that you did in your life, because you've done daunting things, scary things. You've been to places. You did a story and you had to get away from Kenya for some time. That's a story somebody would love to read, how it affected you.
So I will say this: there's a manuscript somewhere.
So there is a book coming.
I won't say when, but
There is.
But there's a manuscript somewhere. The guy who I'm writing this with will kill me, but my own insecurity about the book is that I've wondered about whether my story is worthwhile to tell. Because you spend so much time telling other people's stories, yours seems mundane by comparison. But when you write it down, then now you see like, this is interesting. This is, But it's also a very scary thing to write, especially because the expectation is that I will write about
journalism.
My journalism and my journey in it, and to an extent there's that. It's tough to
draw the line.
And I don't want to say what the book is about, whether it's fictional or non-fictional, but whenever you, even like with stories, whenever you put a story out there, it's really like it's your work, so you're scared
to
about
live
it,
for you,
and you want people to like the work that you do, but you also don't want to people please. You get, so it's a balance. So short answer is there's a manuscript somewhere. I don't know when it will come out,
but there is a manuscript somewhere. There's hope for us, guys.
Unfinished. But yeah.
John, thanks.
No
Honor
worries,
to have you sat here next to me.
Appreciate it, man.
Love you, man.
Thanks.